The first application is for 16 Hollow Ridge. This is the house that that you guys did the site visit. We sent, well, Greg sent a letter to the neighbor who contacted me today, who was going to attend. I believe it's Deborah Barrett who's on the line, and Tom Barrett.
Yeah, Tom's here.
Hi.
Hi.
So Bob, do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. So the applicant came to us previously a couple of weeks ago and showed us a home that is of a modern style. I think it's a very attractive home, but it's of a modern architectural style. Actually, this was a couple of meetings ago. So then we decided to take a site visit because it appeared that the house was not in the character of the community's houses. So we wanted to take a site visit. We went and looked, and we saw that the site was kind of actually nestled in. It wasn't really on top of the main road. And we felt that it was, somewhat isolated from most of the larger colonial-ish style homes on the main street. However, your home has a clear view of it. And we did a little homework. We found out that the house that was previously approved on the site when site plan approval was granted, and apparently you guys were a participant or were aware of that, was also a colonial style home. So it kind of fit into the neighborhood. The current house that is being proposed is of a modern style. So we felt it was appropriate and fair for you guys who are going to see this house to at least have an opportunity to see it and for the board to hear your comments. So with that, do we want to take a look at the house again? Can we put up the, and maybe you can also speak to some of the tweaks and changes that you addressed.
Can we ask a couple questions before we get started there?
Sure.
So I'm sorry about my audio, or I can't get the picture to work, but I think my wife is going to join in a second. But as we were talking about this, we were curious as to why we were the only ones invited, other than the fact that, we can see it directly.
That's the reason it's not a rule at all for ARB applications to be notified to neighbors or the neighborhood. And we just felt that, we thought we were doing the right thing for you guys, that since you were going to have a clear view of the house and nobody else really was, that we thought it was fair for you guys to have an opportunity to see something.
Yeah, and we appreciate that. Just curious if our neighbors ask us why we had gotten the seat at the table here. I just wanted to have your response to it, so that's fine. I think that we were a little hesitant to give you like an opinion as to whether we like it or not. Not sure that that's relevant, and that's partly why I was asking earlier. I think the things we're concerned about may not be topic of agenda for this architectural review board, because we did participate in the previous application site plan approval because of some concerns over screening, logistics, construction logistics, and then utilities. Those were our three biggest items. And, we were pretty adamant about what we kind of wanted to get out of that. And we're not sure that those, is this applicant going to go back in front of the, for site plan approval because there's a material change to the house that's been approved?
No, they're not required to. They're staying within the, so to speak, the four corners of the approvals, and they're doing that intentionally because they don't want to go back to the planning board, and I don't blame them. We can take a look, and if you want to articulate the things that that you were concerned about and you think you were successfully achieving in the last application, we can take a look and see if those things are still here. Otherwise, in terms of the style, the board will opine on what it thinks. We're not asking, we're not forcing you for an opinion, so to speak. We're trying to be respectful to you and give you an opportunity to chime in.
Yeah. Okay. And we appreciate that. Look, our first take on the aesthetic of the house was, like you're saying, it doesn't seem to kind of fit within the neighborhood. And it's relatively new. A flat roof in this, just anywhere in this Northeast, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me as a builder, but be that as it may, I think there was a couple things that struck us. That first was, will the roof, what's going on up there? Is it a parapet and is it flat? Will the mechanical equipment be up there that we may see? Or what's exactly going on with the roof?
So Thomas, this is Greg Altschiller. How are you?
Hey,
I know
Greg.
we met by email. I didn't have
Yeah.
a chance to meet you in person. Nice to meet you now.
Yep.
And hi, Debbie. How are you? No, there will be no mechanical equipment on the roof. It's a flat EPDM roof, and it has a parapet.
Okay. And so being that you don't go back in front of the engineer, Obsioli, for site plan approval, I guess what my concern would first be, how do you manage water off the roof? Is it, like you said, just it's a slight pitch on an EPDM to a scupper and then out it goes, or?
Yeah, it's a regular outside gutters, yes, integrated.
Okay. How high is
Yeah.
the parapet?
I think parapet, I can't tell you for sure, but I think it's about 2 feet maybe.
Okay, so there's going to be no mechanical equipment up there, and there's
No
gonna be
mechanical equipment whatsoever. No,
decks, no party decks or anything like that.
nothing. No.
Okay. So, and then of course, we were interested in where your mechanical equipment goes. Screening being the biggest, I think obviously you'd put it where it's most efficient, but yet out of the way. So if there's a generator as well, where's that? We're interested in those type of things that, again, I'm not sure they fit under this architectural review board, but those were a couple of concerns we brought up with the last.
Sure, no problem. So the equipment that, for example, compressors, as well as, we're not projecting the generator, but, anything is going to be located on the side of a garage, which is, if you're facing the house, would be on the far left side.
Far left, okay.
Yeah.
So it would actually be the Armont guy who would be the one that may, it would be facing his property, I guess. So.
Can you put up a site? Can you put up a plan now, just so we can look at it
Sure.
while we're talking?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Daisy, can you put it up, please? As I said, have not mastered the sharing.
Yeah,
Screen
same
sharing
with me, so
process.
I'm not too good at this. The property actually abuts 4 different neighbors, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's a fairly large property.
Yeah. While she's doing that, let me just, if I could, I'll just go on. So the mechanical equipment, we had, as you know, Daisy, the issue with the utilities to the site. And, our biggest concern was obviously the water coming up the shared driveway, instead of from Hollow Ridge down by where the septic is. And we respected the fact that it's zone kind of conservation, but obviously it's being dug up for a septic. So we weren't sure why, the applicant was being made to go up the paved driveway, since it is finished and it has to be all cut up. And Bob Fioli had some issues with staying away from utilities. We think it's a real challenge to do that work. Number one. Number two, the logistics of the work is going to affect myself and my other neighbor who use that shared driveway to get out. And then there were actually some agreements that we had with that applicant about how we would cut the road, how we would resurface it. It's not just, we don't see a cut for utilities up the road. And then the meter box itself is rather large. I guess it goes at the end of the road. There's a lot of little things there that we thought we had covered with the previous applicant, and not sure that this applicant.
Well, they should still, so all of those things you're talking about, none of them are really relevant to the architecture review board.
Yeah. That's
So,
Tom, we're aware of them and we're not changing any of that. So as I said, we'll meet and we'll go over everything, but we're not, we're subject to all the same requirements that are, have been approved through a planning process.
What we really are interested in hearing from you, again, as a sign of respect to you as neighbors who are going to see the house, is being that it was originally approved as a colonial. We just wanted to get any thoughts that you may or may not have about the architectural styles, to take that into consideration before we vote on the application. So if you have
Yeah.
something to share, we'd love to hear it. If not, the other issues are really not really for this board.
Okay, so that I thought that you wanted to hear them, but I respect that. And if I could go double back in a little bit and just cover, what the process is for this applicant, and a little surprised he's not required to go back in front of for site plan approval with such a material change in the house. So anyways, so I see that it's a stucco house. It looks like there's some clapboards there.
That's correct.
And so in the colors, the final colors, is that what?
As reflected on the plans.
Okay, so is it similar to what I'm seeing actually in the elevations?
Yes.
Okay, so and then there's no giant red door or anything like that?
Well, do you see the red door in the drawings?
Oh, yeah, well, look, in the renderings, we're curious, and when we saw that, we see a house. It's a nice looking house, but are you cutting down all those trees on the site to represent that?
No, the trees are maintained exactly as
Okay.
has been
The
approved for
rendering
the
doesn't
planning
show
process.
that. The
Yeah.
rendering.
So
doesn't
again,
show
so really we should try to limit, your comments, please, to the architectural style of the house, because that's really what this board's purview is.
Okay, sure. Then, we don't really have any opinions on what the guy's going to build. We would respectfully ask that at some point we be heard on the logistics, the screening, and the utilities, which is the concerns we had in the past.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay.
Okay, Greg, do you want to adjust any tweaks or changes from last time, and then we can?
No, the only thing we added is clarification of a stucco detail
Can you show us that, please?
that was requested. It just clarified that there is 3 layers of stucco as on the detail. Daisy, if you can scroll down, maybe it's there, or it's in a separate submission, but it was just basically literally adding the word 3 layers. No, it's probably down. Can you scroll down?
All the way to the bottom?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because there was a detail at the bottom, or maybe not. So it's in a different submission when I send you the attachment.
This is the last submission I got. For the
Yeah, and
17th
then there was
meeting.
another file attached to it saying that.
Oh, this?
No, that's just no. If you look at it from anyway, the only thing I added, Robert, is saying that it's actually 3 layers of stucco. It's clarified in the detail.
Okay, can you just show us the detail? We can try to make this easy.
Sure, of course. Thank you. Daisy, can you look at the last email I sent you, please?
Hold on, because that's, I have to go remote on that, so give me a
Sure.
minute.
I can try to share it if you stop sharing, Daisy. I
Yeah,
can try at least.
Thank you, Brandon.
Let's see if this works.
Right there. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah, that's what I remember. The
Yeah.
additional sheet.
Yep. In that additional sheet,
Okay, good.
if you can blow it up a little bit, it will say that there's 3 levels of stuff, 3 layers.
I can see it. I have a big screen.
Okay. Yeah, my eyes are not as perfect for some reason.
Mine aren't either. That's why I have a big screen next to this. Okay.
I see 3 codes. Yes, it's right there. So that's it.
Okay.
Is that EFS?
It's not.
Okay.
All right. Any comments from the board members?
No, I think it's okay.
Okay, I think it's a handsome house. I just thought that we were doing, our job to notify the neighbor, and we appreciate you working with us, Greg, and cooperating, and you're approved.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all your help and all your hard work. Thank you very much.
have a good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, Joel?
Oh, hi. Can you put the drawing on the screen?
Mhm.
That's right. Oh, that's the, oh. That's the previous drawing from 2 weeks ago, the last meeting. I sent you a new one. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, anyway, the two things that the board had requested was the colors. I sent swatches to Daisy showing the off-white, which is called silver satin, and the black, which is black. You also asked some more detail of the sign, so we blew it up, as you can see on the right-hand side of the drawing. And if you scroll up, you can see the section through it. There you go. Basically, it's an 8-inch plastic letter, 1 inch thick, and will be attached to the existing freeze board that's there, both in the front facing South Greeley Avenue and in the back facing the existing parking lot. Those were the two things that the board had requested at the last meeting, and hopefully we've satisfied your request.
Daisy, did you get color samples?
I did. What he submitted were two,
Swatches.
which I scanned, but it's not the greatest when you scan it, so I will share it with you. Hold on. That's it.
Well, maybe easy if I just hold it up in front of the screen.
That would be great, yes.
Yeah, why don't you put me back on, Daisy?
Mhm.
Well, if this is called silver satin, it's just a little off-white. Let's see. There we go. And the black is it's called Benjamin Moore HC dash 190, and but it's basically black.
Okay.
Okay, and those were the two things that the board had requested at the last meeting.
Okay. Comments, anyone?
Nope.
Joe,
Good.
anything?
No. Thanks,
Okay, you're approved. Thank you we appreciate.
Thank you very much. Have a great holiday if I don't speak to you as in the meantime, and if I don't speak to you again, Happy New Year.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Daisy. Thank you again for everything.
Sure. Okay. The next application is 10 Ichabod Lane.
That's me.
How are you?
Good evening. My name is Shaheen Neshmat. I'm representing 10 Ichabod Lane. The project is about 3 front dormers, a portico, front steps railing, and an addition to rear shed dormer. We believe we have added to the aesthetics of the front elevation and curbside appeal of this house, and also made the function of the house better by creating more height in the second floor and bigger bedrooms and a nicer bathroom. And I believe that we have enhanced the house in many ways from the original look from the front elevation and function of the house.
Are you the architect, sir?
I did the drawings. The architect of the house is Roberto Ciograssi. I'm the project manager.
Can you post the drawing somewhere?
I'll share my screen.
Thank you.
I'm gonna just go down and you can just go and speak.
Those are the dormers that are shaded areas on the roof. This is the existing demo first and second floor plans. Proposed floor plans of the first and second showing the hatched areas of the additions, the front dormers and the rear dormers, the shed dormer, and the front portico, the railing over the existing steps, but there are no railing, there is no portico over the front stoop. Showing this drawing is front elevation is showing the front portico, 2 dormers on each bedroom, and a little dormer on top of the stairs. And the rear addition elevation on the same, I'm sorry, Daisy, on the same sheet
That's
shows
okay.
extension of the same dormer that exists. We're lining up the fascia on the soffit. These are the side elevations. We're staying the same architectural style. We're matching all the materials. We're matching all the siding, corner boards, fascia, everything we're matching. And we're replacing the whole roof entirely. The new roof that has been chosen is Timberline Prestige High Definition Shingles in Poudre Gray. It's going to be the whole entire house.
Do you have photographs of the house?
Yes, I submitted them.
Are they- So on the back, there is already a shed dormer, you're just expanding it, is that what's
On
happening?
right and left, exactly. It looks very lonely right now, but then once we extend it, it will look more uniform. These are the neighbor houses. Across the street and on the left.
Okay. Can you go back to the elevations, please, Daisy? Seems straightforward to me. Anybody have comments?
No, I think it's fine.
Brandon, Joe, anything?
Are you,
Yeah, agreed.
painting
Are
any
those
new
windows on
siding?
the back dormer existing, the 2 small ones? Is that why there's like small and then big?
On the back,
Yeah,
the back dormer is over the stairs.
they are, Brendan. There's
Okay, yeah.
some smaller ones.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine.
Joe, were you saying something before?
No, I was just asking if the existing siding is going to remain and then the new siding is going to try to match the same color.
Yes, everything's gonna match.
Okay. We good, everybody?
Mhm.
Okay, you're approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Daisy.
Bye-bye. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Next application is 641 Douglas Road. I believe Brad is on the line. Hi, Brad.
Hi, good evening. My name is Brad DeMott. I'm an architect. I believe Greg Blue is with us tonight too. He's the owner. We are proposing, well, let me bring up some photos first. Let's see. Okay. I'm sorry, can you see that?
No,
Yes?
no.
Or no? Existing photos?
Nothing's being posted.
Okay. Let me go back to the share screen. Well, let's try this. Okay, so the existing house, and this is a Garrison Colonial built in '68. It's fairly original. Has the original cedar shingle siding. It's a brick veneer along the front elevation. And what we're proposing to do is a couple things to this house. We are proposing
Can we just see the photos of the house first, if you don't mind?
yeah. Let me try and bring those up. For some reason, they're not coming up.
Do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah, if you can, that'd be great.
Okay, if you can just stop sharing yours. Okay.
There we go. All right, those are neighbors. All right, here's the existing house. It's kind of a hard house to photograph the way it's sited on the property. Yeah, so the existing house, this is, the original cedar shingles, brick veneer in the front. You really have an entry and also a side entry or a mudroom entry on the front. And there's a porch built on the back of this house some time ago. So what we're proposing to do is an exterior remodel by replacing all exterior siding, trim, and roofing. But we're also proposing to build a dormer on the right side, a second-story addition over the one-story wing on the right side of the house. If we go back to the front elevation. You really can't see it there, but on the right side of the house, there's a one-story wing. So we're going to remove that roof, build a second-story addition. Then we're building a porch across the front of this.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Daisy, can you go to the elevations now, please?
Yeah.
All right, so this is the proposed front and proposed right side. So the front porch would have a standing seam aluminum roof. All the shingles on the house would be removed, replaced with asphalt shingles. We'd be residing the entire house with fiber cement shingles that are stained to look like cedar shakes. The porch columns would be 10-inch square composite. The railing would be composite. Decking would be the same synthetic composite. Lattice across the porch, wrap around the porch skirt. That would all be privacy lattice in a square pattern. That'd be PVC. Gutters would be white aluminum half round. All the windows would be replaced and they'd be in a 6/1 pattern. Also adding the garage doors would be carriage style. If we go to the Daisy, if you go scroll back down. All right, so on the garage elevation, which really kind of becomes the front of the house the way you approach, but the garage doors would be replaced with carriage style doors. There'd be a canopy built above the garage doors that would also be standing seam aluminum in a brown color to simulate copper. So it's really an exterior facelift, replacing all the materials, but it's also the front porch and the second-story addition that also changes the massing of it.
Comments from the board? I mean, to me, the addition looks very massive and it looks like an addition. It doesn't look like the house was always like that. Did you look at doing other roof lines or other treatments to kind of break down the massing or maybe might not make it look like such an addition?
Well, the only other solution is to turn the roof the same direction as the main body, but that doesn't work because we are in this addition. We have a higher ceiling on the first floor, so the going from 8 feet to 10 feet, and then there's also that same 2-foot step up in the second floor, and so if you turn the roof line if you have the gable not facing the front but facing the side, the roof line would be higher than the main body of the house. So normally in an addition like this, that wing would be a lower roof if the ridges were running in the same direction.
So why is that the doors on the first floor of the extension are the same height as the doors on the main part of the house? Why are the windows up so high? Is there?
First floor doors?
Yeah, I'm looking at the sliding doors to the left of the rear elevation. It appears like the whole first floor lines up, does it not?
Yeah, I think the answer to the question is that there is a step up in the addition to give additional ceiling height in the area below that. So yeah, the floor level is higher, which is why you see the windows on that rear facade right there showing a little bit higher.
The new French door could be higher, but isn't.
What do you guys think? I mean, even the cupola on that is almost accentuating it as being even more massive, even though it's a nice architectural feature. I don't know that it's helping there.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. It's like the cupola. I don't object to it overall per se, but yeah, like Robert said, I mean, the cupola, it's just making the addition look more prominent than the main house almost.
It seems to me like it's almost a little bit of an optical illusion because it reads as it's all the same, the floor heights are all the same, but then the windows are offset. So there's something, that's just optically it's a little bit off. So I don't know if it needs to even be more distinct or I'm not sure, but
it's probably worth
just
mentioning.
because I mean even the floor steps up there by like 3 some risers, but still the roof peaks are still all the same. So and it's just optically
mentioning that the rear of the house is not visible really to anybody. This backs up into wilderness, and even from the front, honestly, the house is set back so far from the cul-de-sac that, particularly during the summer, you can't even see it from the street. But
and it is deceiving too that nobody ever sees a true elevation of a house, essentially, for the most part.
I mean, did you look at, offsetting the wall a little bit and maybe using a different material in the extension? I mean, did you look at, you're trying so hard to make it one big mass, but it really reads as a really big mass. And could the second floor windows be go down, extend a little lower to the floor? I don't know where the floor line is, so that there was some more relationship between the lines of the windows on the old and new parts. There are plenty of architectural treatments that you can do to make this separate piece maybe feel separate and still kind of get the function that you want. But now to me, it reads very massive.
At one point, was there a colored elevation that I thought I saw?
Yeah, I was just going to say, not to complicate the screen sharing thing, but Brad, I think you had that up earlier.
Yeah, Daisy, if you could stop and I'll bring up the other one.
I think that actually helps the front elevation a little bit.
The shadow, so it's set back a little bit on the front.
Well, on the first floor, the walls on the first floor align with each other. In other words, what's under the porch and what's off to the right side. and then that gets extended up. And then because it's a Garrison Colonial, it's the second, the wall on the second floor above the porch that bumps out 2 feet. Look, there's only so many ways to put a roof on this addition.
And I also too think that maybe the crickets make it read in elevation. You'd never see those, but it makes it read a little bit more massive than it probably
You know,
would.
you're always
like.
looking up at this house. The way you approach, the way it's sited, it's up on a hill. You're always approaching from below.
You have the back rendered, the back elevator? Oh, yeah.
No, I just did the
Back's up
front.
top. Yeah, back's up top.
No, I think the one above is the existing.
Yeah.
Correct?
Right.
Yeah, you just- So,
Yeah, I don't have any. objection to that.
I think that I like the colored elevation more than just the CAD drawings.
Well, they give it a little life.
Yeah,
push the back elevation again one more time. Sorry.
it seems a little bit.
Daisy, we might have to go back to. Oh, I could bring him up again. Hang on. I think. No, Daisy, you're gonna have to do it.
Is it, did you think, is it the windows up on the second floor of the extension of the new piece? Can those go lower? I mean, to kind of, again, try to get horizontal lines. I mean, what's in that room there?
Well, they'd be sitting on the, they'd be sitting literally on the floor.
Yeah, too low.
Or the head height would be, 5 feet off the floor or something. Well, like when you have this change in floor elevation, it's hard to make justify the windows. I'm trying to get them to align.
Nah, you can't.
Daisy, can you flip
I'm
to the
actually-
page? Can you flip to the back, Daisy? I'm sorry. The last page, yeah. What were you gonna say, Trevor?
No, I'm actually a lot better with it. The color elevation makes it reads a lot better than the CAD elevations or the black and white.
And in the rear elevation, what's to the lower left and also to the right of the quadruple doors? You have all that blank space. Is there any reason the windows couldn't go there?
That is.
One of the features the board frowns upon is, big blank fenestration.
Yeah, there would be a sectional in that part of the room. So
Can you get a transom window, can you get something? Usually lights.
there could be windows there.
And what's to the right of the multiple sliding doors? Where the bay window.
Well,
came out?
that's a. There are 2 bow windows that are being removed, bay windows rather, and then in between the 4 panel doors and that single double hung on the right side. That's what happens there. There's a wall in between 2 spaces. So you have a room on the right side and the room where the 4 doors are. So adding windows there doesn't really work. No, I take that back. We could add 1.
Yeah, it's nice to look out into your backyard and get light. The house looks much. All right, anything else? Anything else, guys? All right, so if you can add fenestration, those 2 blank areas, you'll be approved.
Okay. So that's a resubmittal and another meeting? Or
You
can
know
that
what
be
you
done?
can do, if you can draw it and show it to us, we can go to the next application. You can come back in 15 minutes and show it to us. You'll be approved and you'll be done. We used to do that when we met in person. People would just draw right on.
Right,
the
no, I get it.
definition,
Right.
We don't have to make you
can't do it
come
right
back
now.
again. Try to not make you have to come back.
I could have it to you tomorrow, but not right now.
And we're not going to meet tomorrow. So then Daisy would have to show it to us at the next hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll add you on the next agenda, which is December 15th.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thanks.
Have a good night. Okay, Mary Scott is next. 180 Cron Avenue.
I'm here. Let's see. Oh, sorry.
Hi,
Okay.
Mary.
Shall I share my screen? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. 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 It's the paperwork you don't care about. Okay, actually, this is kind of interesting. So the Stansky property is actually on the border of, half of it is in village of Mount Kisco and half is in town of Newcastle. The addition that we're adding is entirely within Newcastle. And you can see it actually here. I don't know what this weird yellow line is, but this is on the GIS map. So the house is here. This is Mount Kisco, and this is Newcastle. This is Croton Avenue going past. This is the sawmill, and this is Surf Lane, just to kind of clue you in. So the neighbors are really, there's one across the street and then a couple on Surf Lane. This is the house. It was originally a much smaller ranch house that had various additions over the years. And the entry was changed. So this basically, this side is what faces Croton Avenue. You come down the driveway and then you face the front. And as you continue down, 2-car garage, it's a ranch with an attic above. This is around the side with the deck and kind of the majority of the yard. And then going around the rear, there was a sun porch basically put on a patio. And what we are proposing is to take the sun porch off and build kind of a multifunction family room, gym, home office. It's in bad shape. Windows are leaking. So anyway, this is what we're removing. And you can see it here in the side view. So what we're doing is extending in this line to make more sense when I show you the drawings. The neighbors on Surf Lane. Another one. This is across on Croton. And another one on Surf. So this is the first floor of the house. This is actually where you enter, that angled entry. There's a living, kitchen, kind of existing family room, and then the new room, which is, as I say, kind of a multi-purpose gym, office, family area, and also a couple of closets because it is a ranch. There's very little storage. So from the front or from the back, we decided to raise the ceiling, put in some beams, put in some curved windows. Everything else is kind of very rectilinear, and thought we'd have a little fun with this room and kind of open it up and brighten it up. This is kind of the side section with the beams coming down. This is kind of the closet area. And then there'd be a 4-panel slider going out to a platform and then the yard. So here, so what we're doing with the windows actually is, this is the existing. And so, and this is what faces Croton. So on Croton Avenue, we're basically replicating the existing windows, kind of marching along here. But then as you turn to the back, where really it's very screened, we went to no muntins and the curved windows, and then the 4-panel sliding door out to the patio. So just to kind of make it a little more contemporary, a little more open. And the only thing that will show from the front is this peak. Kind of, we're basically continuing this pitch up to give us the height for the new room. And that's it.
Comments, anyone?
Oh, I think it works.
Okay, Brendan, Joe, anything?
Yeah,
it's
I
good.
think I agree. Could we glance at the, what you call the rear elevation just one more time?
Excuse me?
Could we glance at the rear elevation one
course.
more time?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Here.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine. Looks good.
Okay, I think so too. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good night, Mary.
Good night. Take care.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that it? We have more.
No, that's it.
Okay, that was good. That was a pretty easy night.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
so the next meeting is the 15th.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good night all.
You too.
Good night,
Bye.
all. Thank you.
Right.